Hey everybody, long time no see. I do apologize for having to talk so loud. I've got all the doors and windows open to let the air flow. There's no air conditioning in my vehicle here, so I gotta tolerate the wind. And I apologize if you do also. So I'm gonna talk about the Trump's conflict of interest concerning the crypto business, because now it seems like a good time to jump back in. There's a lot of things that he's doing right now, like budget cuts and stuff, that's really pissing everybody off. But in my eyes, those are all still distractions and different forms of robbery and thievery that I'll be getting to later. Right now, I want to do that crypto business thing. Okay, there's a conflict of interest in it, obviously. And the denial from everybody that supports Trump is Trump's working on it on his own time, so there's no conflict of interest, which is just total BS. In my opinion, guys, he's not selling old tools out of the garage, on the side, out of his garage. His deregulations and deportations and tariff wars and current budget cuts, they're all designed to lower the value of the United States dollar so he can raise the value to his crypto coin. This is what I've said earlier, which is the reason why I'm going to come back to all of these other stuff like the budget cuts later on. But for right now, it's all at the expense of ruining the American economy just to restore it through his crypto coin, which is total BS. Speaking of BS, the reason why everybody's getting all worked up about it, again, aside from the fact that this isn't somebody that's selling tools out of his garage. He's not selling old tools and stuff in a garage sale. He's up here doing shady businesses, president or not. He's catering to unidentified investors that could, some have links to terrorist organizations, with the few that we've been identifying with as economically bad news. For example, one of them is a corrupt cryptocurrency entrepreneur who's performed the exact tactics that Trump did, which is a pump and dump scheme, gathering a total of 720,000 investors who's dumped millions into this and then cut off ties with them. Okay, kind of like a stock market thing. Okay, the investments only went so far. Okay, so that's it, you're cut off. Keep pumping more money, but at the same time, keep putting in more money, but at the same time, Trump and every investor is pocketing all that stuff where the time limit went. Okay, that's the pump and dump scheme. 720,000 investors' lives just got ruined by that pump and dump scheme. And one of the guys that went to his cryptocurrency dinner tour is that exact entrepreneur that I'm referring to. I don't want to say his nationality or what he looks like and all this stuff, because that's not the point. Especially because you can figure out who this next person is. Lamar Odom, a former basketball player, Hall of Famer, celebrity, that's obviously clueless as far as we know of the pump and dump scheme, or has taken a part of it, looking the other way while Trump catered to him and his $1 million investment. We don't really know about that. And without an investigation, an IRS investigation or anything of such, we're not going to know. Again, I want to apologize for talking so loud, because again, the wind is starting to pick up. The wind has just got these variances. But if you could just stay with me for a little bit, I'm almost there. And it's sketchy just simply because of the fact that he's already sold American weaponry to the Saudis. The very same Saudis who are known for killing journalists that have exposed their corruption. Okay? He's known for selling to them. So he's going to be, what in the world makes you think he's not going to be selling to the highest bidder in his crypto coin business with that same kind of a rep, that same kind of rap sheet. People think it's just the KKK. People think that it's just people of hate, and I'm sure there is. There's reports of some of them calling themselves crypto Nazi or Nazi currents or something like that, Nazi coin. And then there's just others that says F the N-word. So it's pretty obvious that there are people of hate. But in my opinion, it's more than that. Because, again, he's already sold weaponry to people, corrupt Saudi leaders. He's going to be catering to them if they cater to his business, to his crypto business. That includes also people like North Koreans, the North Korean leaders. Putin? Oh, most definitely Putin. It was Russian influence, and it was Russian gain through wealth through the cryptocurrency business. Okay, Bitcoin and all that. Russia was the biggest investor in that. They had the most to gain until Biden cut off business with in 2021 with Russia. Then their coin value just dropped. Now they've got Trump, whose Trump coin and Doge and all this stuff is supposedly making a big rise. And Putin is in on it. Russia is in on it. The oligarchs are down for it because of all the profit that they made before Biden broke ties with them. Okay? So it's not just people of hate. It's corrupt officials, corrupt people all over. And even as we now see with Lamar Odom, a former basketball Hall of Famer celebrity, who's jumped on board with this. So people of hate and different colored celebrities are in on this. And what this is just plain corruption. President or not, this is a conflict of interest. Which sort of leads to my quote again. It's all about the money. Belief is the tool. It's all about the money. Belief is the tool. I've been saying this since I started this in 2021. I'm saying it again right now, especially with all of this evidence going on. He's destroying our economy to make himself wealthy and then telling all of you out there, you're welcome. That's what's going on. And it's not meant to bring you down. I'm still saying hang true, okay? Hang in there. Try to avoid all the distractions and anything concerning shock and awe and all this stuff that keeps you away from the president and this ruining the economy thing. Because that's the actual plan. It's got nothing to do with race. People of hate are just dumb followers. The elderly, dumb followers. Celebrities, dumb followers. People who think like him, who say it's not about race. It's about money. That's the fact. That is the truth. And we have to hang truth also because we got all these politicians who are in opposition of Trump and his schemes. All these politicians with law degrees. Why aren't they doing anything about it? Well, technically, they are. You just got to let them handle it the way of the system. And it sucks. I understand that. But take a look at the progress that they've done so far. In 2016, Trump appointed friends and mostly family members to his cabinet and his admin. Now, none of them are involved. They're gone. They're out of the equation. They can't come back. Especially with dirt dug up on all of these people. One killing a bunch of animals in a hunting expedition in Africa, and the other with drugs, and the other whose husband is this racist Nazi douchebag bullshit, Stephen Miller. Okay? None of them are in the political administration anymore. They can't. They've got too much stuff lingering over them that'll allow the cops to arrest them. Fast forward here to 2024. Okay? The last of his friends and politicians, you got this douchebag Kristi Noem, who's doing nothing but parade around looking like she's this tough DOJ person. Any kind of actual emergency happens, you know she's going to drop the ball, or she's just going to turn to the experts that are still around. Okay? A lot of these generals and stuff retired and moved and said, no, I'm resigning and all this other crap. I'm not going to be a part of this bullshit. So you know she's up a creek without a paddle, and she's never going to be allowed to join into any kind of administration. As soon as some actual emergency national threat takes place. Okay? Right now she's on the bandwagon where defenseless migrants are being arrested, and they're being labeled criminals, and they're being locked away. So she's over here looking like, yeah, I'm patriot and all this other crap. In the meantime, all of these actual migrant criminals are out shooting up the place, taking over apartment complexes, robbing, killing, kidnapping, murdering, trafficking, the actual criminals, okay, on an international level to top it all off. You don't see Kristi Noem doing jack shit about it. She's not going to be there very long. And technically, we can only hope that the politicians, with all their law degrees, figure out the actual political and policy and procedure to get her out of the equation, to get her out of the admin, okay, to get her out of Congress, to get her out of everything, out of politics and the ruling class. Just simply because she isn't going to be worth a pile of crap when an actual threat shows up. This arresting people labeled criminals is not going to fly. We all know this. We know the difference between a poser and a person that knows their shit, and a person that actually can handle it. Okay? Other friends and family, Elon Musk, who's already bowing out and resigning out of different things, pretty much like the way Bannon did. Okay? He made his money. He lost a lot by comparison to Steve Bannon. But at the same time, he's pocketed quite a bit of currency, including cryptocurrency, which he's on the bandwagon of the crypto world. Okay? He's on the bandwagon with that. This guy cannot and will not come back to politics. Okay? He's going to be speaker. He's going to hold a podcast no differently than Bannon. He's going to do all this other shit. He might actually be a little bit more of an influence just simply because of his SpaceX crap. That so far everybody in Texas, right here in Texas, we're still working on having it removed and torn down and all this other shit stuff. Excuse my language. Now I can't go to the protests, but I can support them. I can spread the word like the way I'm doing right now also. And I encourage all of you out there to support the opposition to Elon Musk and his bullcrap. He's destroying the environment with the promise of going to Mars. And he's not delivering, but he's still telling you you're welcome after spending all of your tax-paying dollars on spaceships that come back down and crash, blow up, and do nothing but spread radiation into the Gulf of America, or Gulf of Mexico as it actually is. Whatever you want to call it, he's doing nothing but dumping waste into the Gulf. He's ruining the ecosystem. And then he's saying, look, I got another crashed rocket. You're welcome. I want another 100 to 300 to 500 to $2 billion, $100 billion tax credit relief I want $100 billion to pay for the next one. You're welcome. That's what's going on with that fool. Now, pressure's being put on him, so it's quite possible that he's going to be banned from it also. And I'm hoping that somebody out there can figure out the loopholes that he's jumping through to put into a court of law and have the charges pressed on him, because I don't know them. I don't know the loopholes that he's using, other than he's just paying the politicians, and that can only go so far, because we all know if they're legitimate land deals, he's going to do it. If they're legitimate chemical and fuel permitted and certifications and all this stuff, he also paid for it. I'm just confused. Well, not confused. I'm just a little lost as to how destroying the earth, ruining investors, 720,000 to be specific, along with the ones that are not a part of the Bitcoin, that were a part of the SpaceX program, ruining all these lives and just creating so much problems at the taxpayers' expense, ruining the economy. I'm very lost right now as to how nobody is jacking him up. Excuse me. I'm a little lost at how nobody's jacking him up, because if this was like Wesley Snipes, who didn't pay his taxes for years, he just neglected it. It wasn't he was trying to rob the country. He was just neglecting. He was lazy. He blew it off, and it bit him in the butt for it. Okay? Martha Stewart, back taxes. No, inside deals. I'm sorry. Inside information. Went to prison. Paid her fees, but also went to prison. Okay? What the hell's Elon Musk doing walking around free, creating all this damage? It's a shame that the political system doesn't go after these big giants, because knocking them down is huge, far more huge rewards than some fool, who thinks, I'm rich, I don't have to pay taxes no more. You understand? It sounds so stupid, It doesn't make any sense. I'm a little lost by it. And I really, really hope for some answers to come soon and some changes, because I intend to hang in there. And right back to this message. And I hope you all hang in there also. I hope that you all, just keep an open mind and keep looking at what's going on and who's on whose side and who's doing what. What's the extent? Can we really expect one hero? I think it involves a team. I think it involves a team effort. So we're coming up to 20 minutes, and I'm going to say we'll catch you later. Stay safe out there. And hang in there. Keep the faith. It won't be long before everything comes to a head, and we find out where everybody stands, where everybody falls, and how much further we need to go. All right. That's all for now. Everybody stay take care. Good seeing y'all again. Hope y'all see this again. Y'all take care. Take it easy. This is Chris with Chris's Comments, signing out. Keep on keeping on.